Drug addiction is becoming a major problem in the United States. One common misconception about drug addiction is that it only affects the user's life. However, the notion that they aren't harming anyone else except themselves is an excuse that many drug users use to justify their addiction. Drug addiction is not a one-person problem. It has a cascading effect on the lives of those around them. It is a social issue that normalizes drug use and has an impact on individuals and their families. At first glance, it may appear that drug addiction only affects the person who is using it. However, because addiction is a destructive issue that can harm the community, family, and individual, it is extremely rare that other people are unaffected. Neglecting responsibilities as a result of drugs can have a negative impact on a person's career, children's education, or family financial security. Their influence can also extend beyond the immediate family. Friends or neighbors who rely on their presence or companionship may suffer as a result of their absence. Addiction has a variety of short-term and long-term health consequences. Although the effects of different drugs vary, long-term abuse of any substance can lead to chronic disease or reduce an individual's productivity. The most permanent effect of drug addiction is death, which becomes more likely as tolerance increases, leading to overdose. There is a clear link between crime and drug addiction, which is largely due to the illegal status of commonly abused drugs. It is not only illegal to transport many of these drugs, but the lower inhibition of those under the influence can encourage them to commit other crimes. The types of crime that an individual may commit while on drugs are numerous and dependent on a number of subfactors, but drug users are more likely to commit crime than non-users. Another way that drugs influence people to commit crimes is through petty theft in order to obtain drugs and satisfy their cravings when they are desperate. There are two types of people: those who believe that drug addiction treatment should be available to all, as well as those who believe that drug addiction should not be treated as a criminal offense. Finally, it makes no difference whether the addict is a criminal or not. With the right support and treatment, a person can overcome addiction and reintegrate themselves back into society. Because of the drug rehabilitation process, there are nearly an infinite number of people who have taken the necessary steps to overcome the crippling addiction and even become pillars of various communities. Unfortunately, drug addiction continues to exist in society. It can be extremely difficult to recover from an addiction once it has begun. It's common to become frustrated with family members or loved ones who are addicted. Addiction carries a significant stigma, in part because many people believe that drug abuse or addiction is a moral failing. People whose children, siblings, or other loved ones that are addicted can gain empathy by learning about the complexity of addiction and why recovery can be difficult. When someone suffers from addiction, it can be difficult to simply abstain from drugs or alcohol. Addiction alters a person's brain, creating compulsions to use. These changes can make it difficult to resist the urge to use drugs over time. Furthermore, drug abuse and addiction can impair the brain's reward system. When a person uses opiates, he or she feels an intense sense of pleasure. Those who become addicted seek out the sensation on a regular basis. However, opiate use can impair the brain's ability to produce its own painkillers and the feel-good chemical dopamine over time. the addict becomes unable to feel good without the assistance of opioid drugs. Addiction is also rarely a standalone health problem. Many people who struggle with addiction also suffer from a mental illness. When this happens, people require dual diagnosis treatment. This type of treatment for co-occurring disorders addresses both issues at the same time. Dual diagnosis reduces the risk of relapse while also improving an individual's physical and mental health. Drug use can aggravate or mask symptoms, making treatment difficult until a complete and correct diagnosis is obtained. Long-term drug use can also cause a variety of health issues ranging from malnutrition to digestive disorder to brain damage. Aside from what is going on inside the sufferer's body and mind, there are negative social ramifications to contend with. A person under the influence of drugs or alcohol may act in ways that alienate parents and friends in some cases. Someone who is feeding an addiction may engage in antisocial behavior to obtain money to continue using drugs. You may find someone requesting loans or cash gifts or selling priceless family heirlooms. There are numerous indicators that a person can be suffering from addiction. He or she may also steal cash, checks from your wallet, or drugs from your medicine cabinet at times. People in this situation almost never limit their theft to family members. If they steal from others, they may face arrest and imprisonment. Because drug possession and sale are both illegal, it is not uncommon for a loved one suffering from addiction to have a criminal record. all of these negative consequences can spread to other aspects of your family members' lives. America's homeless crisis has all the makings of a major crisis. Shelters across the country are reporting an increase in the number of people seeking assistance, with wait lists doubling or tripling in recent months. The number of homeless people living outside of shelters is also likely to increase. Some of them live in encampments that have sprung up in parks and other public spaces across the country since the pandemic began. Inflation is exacerbating the situation. Rent has risen at the fastest rate since 1986, putting homes and apartments out of reach for more Americans. Because of the crisis, more people are unsure where they will sleep tonight. People living on the streets are more vulnerable to crime, violence, and bad weather, including extreme heat. They may lose their job as a result of the chaos of homelessness, and they frequently struggle to find another one without internet access or a mailing address. Homelessness has become a particularly difficult political issue for Democrats in control of major cities, where it is most visible.